and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday. This is a weekly show which covers all the news from Star Citizen over the past week. I am your host, Mac, so let's get on with it. This week, 3.0 gets closer than ever to live release. We learn more regarding short and long-term atmospheric flight plans, plus we have some awesome giveaways to talk about. So, a quick heads up regarding the giveaways. We still have a Constellation Taurus giveaway going on, and it can be found using the top link in the description. We now have a Freelancer running too, so follow the next link below the Constellation giveaway to enter this one. I also have a $25 gift card available to give away, so let's do that right here. To enter, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and comment below telling me what you are most looking forward to in 3.0. On next week's Star Citizen Sunday, I'll pick a winner at random and send that gift card over to them. A big thank you to both Raiden at the Cray Raiden YouTube channel and his friends for providing these incredible ships, and also to Sunkshark for providing the $25 gift card. You guys seriously rock. Other people who rock are my patrons, so thank you to all my patrons. Patreon obviously had this recent update where they actually charged the people pledging money more money. They have now done away with that. They realised their mistake and they apologised, so it has gone back to how it was originally. Thank you to those who stuck with me. Obviously, if you couldn't stick with me for whatever reason, I understand. A few of you have come back and I really appreciate it, so thank you. Your pledges each month help me make videos like this, paying for the software I use and helping with giveaways, and I cannot thank you enough. If you do like my channel and want to help support it, follow the link to my Patreon page below to learn more. So on Around the Verse this week, again starting with the burn down, they had 176 must-fix issues. 2 of them are blockers, 75 critical, 69 high and 30 moderate, which is reduced across the board since last week. I can't remember what the total number, I think it was like 250 something, so they've made a lot of progress there. They did say they're making progress on the live release, now mainly feature issues rather than code issues, so they are getting closer and closer each day to a live release candidate, which is exciting stuff. In terms of missions, the mission givers went through the full test review, making sure that everything works. Good, like the reputation switching. The reputation system is what determines whether you are eligible for, say, Miles Eckhart's jobs or whoever. There's only a few issues like animations, Ruto's hologram effect, things like that. There was also a very cool bug with Ruto recently, where if you shine a torch over the hologram where Ruto pops up, you will see a ghostly black figure stood in the background. This is now resolved, I believe, but I really think they should keep something like that in there. It's quite scary and quite exciting. They just started balancing the environmental missions, things like the probability encounters. So when you're quantum traveling, you'll get pulled out due to maybe a rogue asteroid, and there could be pirates around there. Basically just bringing more interactions while traveling rather than it just being a boring A to B. It needs balancing so that you don't get pulled out of quantum travel every single time that you do it. It needs to be kind of a rare occasion, which I like the way they're going with that. It's an interesting method. They're also implementing the admin office workers and adding them to missions as well. So in terms of ships and vehicles, the 300 animation series issues are getting resolved. The landing gear on the Glaive is getting resolved, and the Herald atmospheric issues are also being worked on. The balancing the shields and its 4 faces, getting the EMP more accurate, working on the Constellation cargo bay, and the Caterpillar doors have all had work on them as well. All the shields' healths have been balanced too, so that it should be more accurate. The shield screen will have power, regen rate, total health for each face, distribution of shield health, hardening status, regen at 0 point, and standby, and they're making sure that the ships break properly when destroyed. So they're doing a lot of work on these ships. In terms of traversal, the Gravlevs are getting fixed. They've adjusted the fuel, so they say fly conservatively. They're also adjusting power and shields, which will be a constant ongoing thing until 3.0 gets shipped. And then again, it'll be beyond that. Atmospheric flight, they feel, is in a good state now, and they're fixing the turbulence when stationary. We'll talk more about that as the main feature of ATV as well. In Moby-Glass, the personal inner thought is getting a review by Chris Roberts, and designers are now fixing the minor changes that he wants. For performance and stability, they've done a lot of work on persistent spawning. This is regarding the PTU beds, which you can now apparently log off and log back into the same location. It didn't work for me when I tried it, but that was a little while ago. Now 3.0 is feature locked as well. They can begin to optimize better. It's pointless doing the optimization too much before all the new features are in, because when you introduce something new, it will cause more issues. So they always wait until it's locked with features, which is good now, so it means they can get on with getting it out to the rest of us. They've also worked on range-based serialized variable culling this week. This is something they tested a little while ago. Now they say that this should improve performance significantly across the board, especially with larger player caps up to the 40-50 player level, which is probably the best news of the whole thing. I'm always excited to hear that they are making progress in optimizing the performance and so forth. It's so important right now. Anyway, they're making great progress on 3.0. Now that all the features are in, they are all working on stability and performance, which is good news. Plus, this ranged serialized variable culling sounds like it could be a real boost. I'm looking forward to seeing that when they implement it. Anyway, the main focus of ATV was to do with the physics of atmospheric flight. Now, there is pretty much a line in which the atmosphere begins and the space stops. The atmosphere, once you enter, is weak, and as you get closer to the planet, you'll begin to feel it more. Flying low to the ground will affect your ship less, they say. I think this is more to do with being sheltered from the wind than anything else. That's, I think, what he was trying to say there. But short term, they're implementing the feeling of it in atmosphere, sort of lower acceleration. 3.0 will just be things like turbulence and wind effects. They're currently trying to find a good balance between it being unnoticeable and uncontrollable, and I've played in both where it is you don't even realise there's atmosphere, but then I've played where you just cannot fly in a straight line. Now, the ship cross-section has a large effect on your ship and how it will fly. They are unique for each ship, and so if you lose a wing, this will affect how your ship performs as the cross-section has changed. Like with everything in game, they say they will always need to find a balance between the realism and the fun. If it's too realistic, it'll just be tedious. Now, long term, they want thrusters to perform differently in atmosphere than to space. In space, the more sort of impulse thrusters using high acceleration. In atmosphere, they will be sustained thrust fighting the gravity. They also want the asymmetrical effects of drag. They want the thruster effects to be different in atmosphere than space. They want weather systems rather than the current faux wind. Wind strength and variation will be in, wind turbulence. Chris Roberts wants you to hit aerodynamic limits and have effects like wings breaking off if you push the limits too far. They are still working on things like weather and storms. This will obviously affect how your ship flies when it does come. After 3.0, a new flight model will be introduced to improve atmospheric flight more, and they will eventually see ships when stationary in atmosphere bustling around and fighting the gravity and the wind as you would expect them to, not sitting still like we saw at Gamescom. Anyway, that was around the verse. It was kind of interesting to hear about this atmospheric flight. Nice to see they're bringing in the improvements that we all want. They did say that next week is the ATV for Squadron 42. I believe it's a live-streamed ATV. I don't think it's pre-recorded, but I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm very excited to see more on Squadron 42, as I'm sure a lot of you are as well. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Let's move on. Also this week, Benoit Bossageur was the dev in the Citizens of the Stars, and Star Medic was the community guest. There was a new Aramis post titled Day 627, The Journey Ends. Bug Smashers looked into a UI issue. Subscribers had an end-of-year survey regarding the perks, plus Lesson 5 of the Jan language was up teaching politeness, verbs and pronouns. So that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for watching. A big thank you to the subscribers and the patrons as you make this possible. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow me on Twitch, Twitter and Instagram, and I shall see you next time.